Alright, quick update on ICP. So, ICP has been one of the heavy hitters today, down 15% as of the time of recording this, heavily underperforming against Bitcoin today. Don't think I'm singling out ICP. If you watch any of my cryptos today, it's all been bearish analysis because there's no more Moonboy Hopium. There is no more Hopium to give. Everything is breaking down, everything's breaking bearish. If you're watching a YouTuber that's shilling you Hopium and saying that we're just going to reverse out of thin air at this point, then, you know, you do you, but it does not look good. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Bitcoin is plummeting like a rock. You look at the stock market, you've got blue chip stocks like Airbnb down 11%, Coinbase down 18%, Tesla down 8%. If you don't think ICP is going to keep bleeding out, then I'm sorry to say, but I'm pretty sure it is. Well, let's start off with the analysis. You can see, first of all, we have come down to our next price target, the 1.618 fib. We've been talking about this for quite a while. We've at least been talking about it since we broke down from the previous all-time low. I was about to say all-time high, and that's because the previous video we did for ICP, we actually put it in an inverse scale, and that's something that I'm going to do again in one moment. But let's jump right into the analysis. So I'm going to start off on the daily. On the daily time frame, we can see there's a ton of bearish volume stepping in on the squeeze momentum indicator. If we look at the volume as well, we are dropping in price and the volume's exponentially increasing. Volume predicts price. What does this mean? Well, there's two different ways, there's two different things that can really happen. Well, there's a few, but let's simplify it. Let's say you have a breakdown in the crypto markets and your volumes are high to start with and they start tapering down, meaning you see these volume candles that are slightly diminishing over time. That would mean that you're probably about to have a reversal because, you know, you're running out of sellers, you're running out of people to dump on the market. But what happens on the inverse? When you drop down and the selling volume gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, it's indicative that you're about to have a huge flush out, and as the volume keeps on increasing, the price is going to keep on dumping. It seems self-explanatory, but a lot of people think, you know, we've just had a huge selling volume, huge amount of selling volume, so surely we're going to reverse at some point. I'm here to tell you, at least in my opinion, I don't think we are. If we look at what's going on in Bitcoin, Bitcoin has also got increased selling volume. We are dropping like a rock. And before we do jump into the ICP chart, I want to show you the Bitcoin chart because Bitcoin has just broken below this key level of support. In my opinion, Bitcoin is coming down to 29,000, which in my opinion means that ICP has more to drop. I really don't see a world where Bitcoin keeps dropping and ICP has a reversal. But let's flip this chart into the inverse, and I want to talk about what I see going on in the macro term, because, you know, a lot of people look at ICP, I'm sure a lot of people are invested in this and hope that they see something bullish, but I don't see that. So to start with, like I said, there's no more fibs to draw from at this point. We only have one more fib target down at $2.10. I'm not going to comment on whether I think, you know, we are going to move down to there. I mean, I am going to comment. I don't think that we're going to go down that low anytime soon. Do I think it's impossible that we could go down there? Absolutely not. Let me show you why. If we put this in an inverse scale, and I know a lot of people who are invested in ICP are potentially emotional investors, and I don't say that to, you know, kind of make fun of people who are watching my videos who aren't emotional investors, but I get a lot of comments from ICP people when I give my honest analysis. Bear in mind, I don't hold ICP. I wouldn't want to touch it. I wouldn't want to trade it. So you're getting analysis from someone who doesn't hold this crypto. So my analysis is from a completely unbiased perspective. Bear in mind, YouTubers who clickbait, who say, you know, price is going to go up 10x after we hit this level, this price is going to reverse, ICP to the moon, ICP to $10,000 by December, those videos get more views than the people like me who just post a blank screen with no title, not putting any bullish clickbait hype in there because they just want to provide honest analysis. I'm providing you honest analysis, and I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The ICP chart is the worst crypto chart I've ever seen in my entire life. I'd almost feel like I'd want to invest in a rug pull just because I feel like rug pulls have a chance of pumping at some point. But ICP is terrible. This chart is garbage. If we look at it, like I said, we put it in an inverse scale because a lot of time people invest in cryptos and they use emotions to guide them in the market. And I feel like when you put things in an inverse chart, it kind of tricks your brain into thinking you're looking at a different crypto that you don't hold because you haven't looked at the chart before, so you're not emotionally attached to where the chart moves up and down, and it gives you a new perspective on the market. So let's just start off with what's going on this new crypto, which is not ICP. It's actually a crypto called PCI, so keep that in mind. Well, what's happened with PCI? PCI minted all the way down here at 650, and it's been in a huge bull run ever since then. The whole time we've been in this bull run, we've been perfectly supported by these EMA ribbons, and we've been moving up in a bullish channel. Seems amazing, right? We're miles away from all of our moving averages, and if we zoom in, this green line here, because obviously this is an inverse chart, this is now support as we flipped it. What do you notice? This was the all-time high, and what have we done? We perfectly flipped the all-time high. We perfectly came back and back tested it as support, and now we're in price discovery to the upside. So look at this objectively. Do you see anything bearish about this chart? I don't see anything bearish whatsoever. I mean, we can't talk about the volume because the volume doesn't flip to green, but you know, we're seeing an increase in volume. Let's pretend this is green because this is the inverse chart. We're just seeing tons and tons of increases in volume and increases in momentum. We've just hit our bullish price target extension of the 1.618 Fibonacci. The next price target is all the way up here. So yes, we could find some temporary resistance at this level before we do flip it. I do think we are going to drop through this like a rock, or should I say moon through this like a rock, because this is the inverse chart. So like I said, putting things in an inverse chart is almost kind of like a meme, but I really do believe that if you are emotionally invested in crypto, putting things in the inverse chart can really help take away some of your emotions. And because, you know, we're all human. Obviously we're all human watching this. I hope you're human watching this. If you're an alien, what's up? But you know, we're all human here. So looking at a chart that you're invested in and wanting to see a bullish sign when it's not there is completely normal. I completely understand. I used to be an emotional investor. I think everyone who starts off investing in the crypto markets is going to be an emotional investor. I would be very surprised if you're a new investor and you're just completely able to separate your emotions from your trading. That was the hardest part about becoming a trader for me. I mean, I struggled separating my emotions from what I saw in the charts. Sometimes I'd look at the charts and the charts would look bearish, but my emotions were like, but this crypto is going to go to the moon, right? And I shot myself in the foot because I didn't look at the chart objectively. So I just want people to look at this ICP chart objectively. Whether you like ICP, whether you don't like ICP, I imagine a lot of you like ICP who are watching this video, and I hope you can respect my analysis because, like I said, I don't hold this crypto. And I've actually had a comment before from some person saying this guy is just trying to, you know, this guy is just trying to FUD ICP so he can buy it cheaper. And I hate to break it to you, but my 4,500 followers on YouTube, we're not going to move the market. We're not going to move the ICP market by 0.1%. So, you know, people saying I'm FUDding is just absolutely hilarious, thinking that my videos have any impact on the market, because they don't. And I'm telling you for a fact, I do not want to buy ICP. If ICP, and this is 100% factual, if ICP drops to 10 cent, I would not buy it. I do not like ICP. The chart looks garbage to me. And while some people have told me it does have good fundamentals because it's working with Bitcoin to put smart contracts and blah 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 blah, the chart doesn't reflect that. So I have to go with the chart. I have to go with what I'm looking at here, and the chart looks terrible. Like I said, put this in the inverse scale. Pretend we're looking at PCI instead of ICP. This crypto is in price discovery. Do not bet against a trend. Why would you try and assume that this is not going to break bullish when we've just flipped the all-time high? So I'd be very cautious about trading ICP. To wrap up the video, let's look at ICP priced against Bitcoin. And I always talk about this. If you're buying an altcoin, you want to buy an altcoin that outperforms Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin is the safest crypto. By buying an altcoin, you're taking on so much extra risk in the hope that that risk will have, you know, a better yield. So risk to reward ratio, right? You want to take on more risk so you have the potential to have a bigger reward. Well, for that to work, your crypto needs to at least outperform Bitcoin. Otherwise, you're taking on all this risk for no reason. And look at this, you know, ICP used to be worth more than 5% of a Bitcoin. Now it's worth 0.000337 of a Bitcoin. We are extremely bearish against Bitcoin. What is the point in holding an altcoin that does not even outperform Bitcoin? There is 0 point. And if we were looking at this in the short term and at some point in time this had outperformed Bitcoin, it would be a completely different story. But since it started charting, this has done nothing but drop like a rock against Bitcoin. This is one of the worst no, I take that back. This is the worst crypto chart I've ever seen in my life. People can call me a fudder, but I'm just looking at this chart objectively and it looks like dog water. I wish you the best if you're an ICP. I'm not trying to fudge you out your bags. I'm just giving analysis that I would want to hear if I did hold this, because like I said, I do not hold this. Whether you buy or sell does not affect me. But just take into consideration, I would have got more views on this video if I said ICP to the moon, put a rocket ship in the title, put Elon Musk in the thumbnail, and it said something like Elon loves ICP or something BS like that. I'm not that type of channel. I'm going to give you it how it is, and this chart looks garbage. That's all I've got for you. I do wish you best of luck if you're an ICP. I hope you're not pulling your hair out over the price action that's been going on in the past couple of days. Really the price action that's been going on forever, but you know, good luck, best of luck. Not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.